Hey everyone, welcome to Trail Sage, and today we're talking about the Giro DND Gloves. I've been using mine for well over a year now, and I've enjoyed them so much, I bought 2 more pair. Now, are they the best gloves on the market? No, of course not. But for the kind of riding I like to do, they've been working great for me. And listen, I understand that everyone has their preferences. In fact, up until a few years ago, I was still rocking gloves with full protection and tons of extra padding. But as my riding evolved, I started experimenting more with gear, and I found that a more minimal approach suited my style and needs better, and these gloves fit that bill perfectly. But before we get into all my likes, here are the specs, and just so you know, I'll be using the brown pair to illustrate the details because it's just easier to see on camera. In a size medium, the gloves weighed in at about 52 grams for the pair. The top of the glove features a stretchy mesh-like fabric that Giro claims to be moisture-wicking and breathable. The underside is constructed of a faux suede-like material that's also stretchy and includes a 2mm crash pad on the left side. There are also some relief cutouts to help with air circulation, and all 3 sections are double-stitched for added strength. Moving on to the fingers, there are small lightweight mesh panels along the sides of each finger. Both the index and middle finger have flex zones at the knuckle and also feature reinforced fingertips. If we flip them over, you'll see that including the thumb, there are some silicone bands to improve grip. At the top of the index finger, there's also additional stitching to help you operate a mobile phone. The side of the thumb is constructed of a microfiber for wiping surfaces. And to help you put the gloves on, there are pull tabs located under your palms. The split seam at your wrist is held together with a stretchy band, and finally, the D&D gloves are offered in a variety of sizes and color options, so finding one that suits your eye shouldn't be a problem. And if you're wondering what D&D stands for, it's down and dirty. Now, before we get into my likes, if you're interested in the shirt that I'm wearing, I'll be raffling it off on Friday, August the 18th to a random channel member. So if you're not already a member, all you have to do is click the Join Now button below and you'll be automatically entered. Membership starts at $2, comes with a lot of perks, and really helps the channel grow. Okay, back to these gloves. So now that you know the specs, here are my likes. With your hands being one of only 3 major contact points on the bike, I know choosing the right glove means a lot. But if you're like me and you're looking for a more minimalist approach, these D&D gloves have really impressed me. The small 2mm crash pad on the underside is barely noticeable and allows you to feel connected with the bike. And listen, the type of grips you have and whether you're running a hardtail or a full sus will play a big role in how they feel. But for me, I've enjoyed using them on all my bikes, especially when the terrain gets demanding and precision becomes paramount. I also appreciate the solid construction. From the thicker mesh top that protects my hands against brush to the lighter mesh along the sides of the fingers allowing air to flow through. For me, these gloves have been comfortable to wear in the dead of summer and deep into the fall. In fact, I'll even wear these on my road rides when the temps get too cold for my fingerless gloves. And speaking of the fingers, I really appreciate these silicone bands on the thumb, index, and middle fingers. It gives you some extra grip when pulling back on the brake levers and operating the dropper. This is especially noticeable if it's wet out or you get sweaty. Finally, the durability has been amazing. I've had these pair for over a year with well over 1,000 miles of punishing rides on them, and they're just now starting to come apart at the seams. As I stated in my intro, I love them so much I bought 2 more pairs, and as for these, I'll probably sew them up and continue to use them as backups for my road bike or scooter rides. Having said that, these gloves aren't perfect. As I mentioned in my likes, they don't offer much protection on the underside. So if you're a rider that enjoys padded gloves or you don't like getting a lot of feedback through the bars, these are probably not for you. Also, I know that Giro claims that these are breathable, but I'm not sure that they're better than any other glove that's on the market. In my experience, once my hands got sweaty, they held on to the moisture just like most other gloves. So if you're a racer looking for a lightweight, breathable glove, I'm sure there are better options out there for you. Finally, while I was able to work the touchscreen on my phone when the gloves were dry, once I started riding and they got a little sweaty, they were much less effective. But that's usually the case for me with most gloves, so it doesn't really bother me. However, it's something that you should be aware of. But that's it for the downside, so let's talk about pricing. You can find these on Amazon for $15 to $24 depending on which color you want, which is right in line with most quality mountain bike gloves you find online. If you're interested in trying out a pair, I'll leave a link to them down below. It won't cost you anything extra to use that link, but it helps me to continue to make these reviews. Listen, I know gloves are a personal thing, but if you're interested in trying out a minimal style glove that's durable and well thought out, I think you'll really like these D&Ds. I've been using mine for a long time, putting them through a battery of tests on the gnarly terrain that I love to ride on, and they've held up great. With clever little features like silicone bands on the fingertips to the pull tabs to help you slide them on, I've been thoroughly impressed. Well, that's it for this video. If you have any feedback or questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe or join now for some extra perks. Thanks for watching. But before we get into all my likes, we'll have a motorcycle. But before we get into... Moving on to the fingers, there are small... Oh man. I also appreciate the solid... I love them so much, I bought 2 more pairs. Yeah. And they're just now starting to come apart at the seams. Oh my lord. As I stated in my intro, also I know that Giro claims that these are... I've been thoroughly impressed. So impressed. Come on! It's like I'm on a drag strip or something.